Hello there everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire, picking up where we left off last time with Robin Holloway bringing siege down to Castle Baston, fighting against Mathis Monstrefleur. I'm butchering the pronunciation, but this is Total War Warhammer 2, the Mortal Empires campaign for Count Noctilus, Master of the Dread Fleet. Now remember, you scurvy dogs, if you haven't done so yet, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and join the crew of the Bloody Reaver. Join the Dread Fleet. Or, if you've already gone on ahead and done that, you undead monstrosities, you go on down there, hit the like button, and share the video far and wide. And also, leave a comment to rename any of these fabulous units to another name. Which, there's so many choices for you. The only one that will not be renamed is our Morgul Hunter, the ever-lovable, adorable, and terrifying Jim the Stasher, hashtag I crawl with Jim. But now, let's go ahead and get underway here and keep bringing a vicious and brutal fight to the Bretonnians. As you can see, they have a considerable defense here, especially coupled with walls. They have these peasant bowmen with considerable range on them, and also foot squires, anti-infantry, armor-piercing, and damage dealers on top of it. That's a fairly significant threat, along with this paladin, another melee specialist. But we have the guns to threaten them. Now, if we were to auto-resolve, we would have a Pyrrhic victory because, well, the auto-resolve is drunk. But we are not going to put up with that. We are going to fight this out. Here we go. So, it's been interesting trying to find a balance talking about the lore of the Warhammer world while still playing this game and having fun. And I mentioned this to a recent subscriber, actually. Now, they were drawn in by the way I'd gone about everything, which is fantastic, but still trying to find a balance with all of that. Because I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to have a good time. I want to have fun. And my goodness, speaking of having fun, look at this map. We've got a little bit of elevation to work with here. That's perfect. I mean, we don't have cannons, but we have these mortars. That'll be perfect, and those will be great for sweeping units off the walls. It looks like this central point here might be best, because all the rest of these should be towers or gatehouses. But let's take a look and see. Okay. Everything's pretty decently towered. These are going to have a decent sight line down on everything through here. I wonder. No, they can blow apart the gates. Seems like one of those situations where one corner of the or the other is going to be best. So we are going to stick with that. These mortars gonna be incredible. Hopefully I can just entice them to keep shooting at Robin Holloway there, who is going to be getting renamed. Let's see, let's just put you a little bit further at the back here. Who's left? Who the heck is this over here? Oh. That would have been funny. Let's put you guys right there, because you are infinitely the most replaceable units. And we've got a respectable Winds of Magic going. The only drawback is we don't have a huge pool there, but we can still make that work. Let's put you over there just a little bit, and same for you. Now let's find out. Nope, can't threaten the towers. It's unfortunate. That means it's all up to these guys. Unless anybody else has some incredible prowess. Nope. So this is actually ideal right here. So we'll speed this up a bit. Now, Bretonnian Society is pretty interesting because they're the most closely modeled on a real-world faction. You know, essentially the French of the medieval period, roughly around the 100 Years' War-ish, give or take. But, you know, heavily armored knights, plate armor, plate mail, a agrarian peasant economy, you know, with different vassal lords and all underneath successively increasingly higher tiers of rulers and leaders. So, you know, peasants factor pretty heavily into Bretonnian economy, and they ended up putting in some interesting game mechanics where you can marshal peasants to supplement your Bretonnian forces, but the more peasants you have a cap on how many peasant units you can have. The more cities and farms and stuff that you have, the more of a leeway you have. The more land you have, the more leeway you have, but there's different economic structures and then the numbers of peasants themselves before you start tanking your own economy. And knights are pretty damn expensive to upkeep, to train, to get going. And that makes sense. It's a lifetime of training. The level of armor that they have, the weaponry they wield. This takes a very specialized kind of craftsman with their own, in many cases, lifelong bouts of training in order to be capable at this. So, and then training, raising, breeding the mounts, the size of the mounts necessary to carry a fully armored knight into battle and to be able to charge effectively, and not only effectively, but without disrupting formation as all the chaos of a battle happens. There's a lot of training that goes into both the animal, into the knight. Lots of skills that have to be developed. You're talking about horsemanship, understanding their armor, hand-to-hand combat. They have to also understand ranged combat to a certain amount. Even if they're not engaging it in themselves, they still have to understand where they're vulnerable. And then, you know, all the different weapons they have to wield. The lances, spears, polearms, swords, maces, warhammers, all the different fighting techniques that go into that, and then, you know, their bare-handed fighting skills too. It's a lot to develop, so that's reflected in this with just the sheer cost that knights incur. It's a massive penalty, but Bretonnian cavalry is more or less second to none. In fact, I think the only thing that really compares and threatens it is some of the most high-end cavalry the Empire can field with their demigryph knights, and even then, you know, compared to Grail Knights, I think Grail Knights would take that fight. Oop. Yeah, spread your shots around a little bit more. Clear those ranged attackers off of there. But the only other things that I think are really a serious threat for them are things like the monstrous cavalry of the ogre tribes. Like, those are pretty terrifying. And then the Slaaneshi cavalry as well. They're glass cannons. They can't stick around in a fight, but their charge bonus is second to none. So in certain situations, Slaaneshi cavalry get just the sheer amount of speed and force they're able to project with that cavalry is terrifying. But they're also glass cannons and can't stick around in a fight the same way Grail Knights can. Any successive tiers of Grail Knights, because you have Grail Knights, Questing Knights, a couple of different kinds of Grail Knights, honestly. I'm forgetting the names for all of them. But yeah, so the Bretonnians are actually really terrifying once they're used. Any of the factions can be terrifying if they're used properly, but the Bretonnians especially, their cavalry is terrifying, and when they're supported properly by their peasant infantry. For example, the knights, they eschew the use of ranged weaponry. They see it as dishonorable, because that's how... I'm forgetting the name of the lord who united and brought together all the different Grail Knights for the lady. But, he was struck down by, cheap goblin artifice. A ballista bolt struck him and knocked him from his mount and had punctured his armor and slain him. And so from that point forwards, ranged weaponry was seen as just dishonorable, non-chivalric. It's just not good for a knight to use, but it's still an insanely powerful battlefield tool. So knights can't use it, but these peasant bowmen? I mean, obviously, they can use bows and arrows. They're not bound by the codes of chivalry, so they still maintain access to that particular battlefield advantage and tactic. And same with all of these other other units, these spearmen at arms, these men at arms, these foot squires. Now, some of them are wielding differing degrees of knightly-ish weaponry, but they're not really full-on knights, and even still, whatever they're using, it's not dishonorable in this instance, because again, they're not bound by the codes of chivalry. So, no harm, no foul in that regard. Let's send you guys in. Oh, what are you doing running over there? That unit's done its job in soaking up all that firepower. So, the idea is that their peasant infantry will act as a pinning force, and then, while the peasants are binding down, or holding up whatever enemy forces are in the way, the cavalry comes around and hits the enemy in the flanks, in the rear, and drives them off that way. So that way they get to maximize their effectiveness in that way. Ooh, start shooting those foot squires, please. Oh, you're all the way the heck over there. And they're fighting down there. Good, they're anti-infantry. Robin Holloway, you get up here. Depth guard, let's increase their attack rate. This is going pretty terribly for them. Let's zoom in and take a better look. Yeah, Robin Holloway, good. Murdering peasants with his halberd, and then these guys down here. These guys are anti-infantry. Their peasants don't stand any chance. Like, in order for them to have any real fighting chance, they would have needed cavalry to come out and meet me and try to disrupt my artillery. Now, that still would have been a risky, awful prospect for them because I had so many halberds, and the undead, the specific vampire lord I have is just great at healing The vampire lords of magic are just some of the best. Like, the Invocation and the Heck does so much for you. It's ridiculous. Zombie halberds eating up some of those heavier hits, while my Depth Guard infantry come in and really just lay into these poor guys. See how my units are doing overall.
Admiral!
Better. One of my units is gone. Well, then why don't you come down here?
Show us! Slay the enemy!
It's okay. It's just one of my deckhand mobs that are gone. And look at that, they're getting sandwiched. Now, these foot squires are terrifying, and these guys with shields, they actually have a decent amount of protection against ranged attacks. But they just don't stand a chance like this, especially being flanked so hard. Always flank whenever you have opportunity to. Oh, and the Vampire Fleet Admiral this guy replaced, Robin Holloway replaced last episode. I realized what happened. The item I used reset my ability timers, but it gave me a 100% miscast chance. So, when I immediately turned around to cast an Invocation of Nehek, well, that was all she wrote for that Admiral. Just Perils of Tzeentch automatically triggered, and boom, gone. And that's one interesting thing with Warhammer Fantasy, especially if you're playing any of their tabletop games. That's how they balance out magic, because magic, no matter what the system, is going to be broken on some level. And for the most part, in Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40k, magic, psychers, they're very, very powerful, very, very broken in many ways. Oops. My bad. So they're broken in many, many ways, and the Perils of Tzeentch are how they balance that. Basically, anytime you use magic, you're still drawing on Tzeentch's power. Tzeentch is the Lord of Change, he is the changer of ways, that conniving, infinitely intertwining web of schemes type of mastermind, and all magic ultimately comes from him and his realm. So, when you're using magic, you have Perils of the Warp that will come down on you, or at least the Perils of Tzeentch. And if you roll badly, you can have all kinds of disastrous effects hit you, mutation being least among them. But death is certainly a distinct possibility, and I've never actually gotten to play. I've only gotten to read some of the books, but, you know, mutation happens, and if you mutate too much, you eventually turn into a full-on chaos spawn. Just a gibbering, mindless, roaring, pained mass of flesh and teeth given nothing but hatred, and just a burning desire to rip, tear, murder, and crap its way through everything. So, utterly terrifying. But yeah, that's how they balance magic. You have potential for awful things to happen to you. Capturing Bastogne does sound fun, but we are going to sack it for that sweet, sweet loot. And then we are now going to well, wait, what do I need to do to make you happy? Instigator. From recruiting and fighting with other pirate lords in battle, that's going to be a rough one to fill out. Ooh, let's give you some armor. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Yes, missile resistance is good for you. Let's go with the relic sword. That's the only option there. A 12% ward save is good. Ooh, the terrifying mask of E. Inflict E. Or that potion of strength would be good. Wand of jet, no. I think that channeling staff would be ideal. Now, what else? Standard no. I mean, the leadership is nice, but no. So now, let's just burn it down. Oh, I can't. Well, can we go to a raiding stance? Yes, we can. First, let's... Ooh. Hand cannons. Armor-piercing missiles, 294. 117. You know what? Let's get these deck gunners going. That'll be fun. So again, sirens would be good because their magic attacks do a lot to just outright ignore armor. But no, let's go with more guns. Also, we need to rename you.
Ours is the sea.
In honor of a good friend of mine, Tony. You get to be Tony Holloway. If you're watching, Tony, drop a like down there, please. Now, let's just set you to raiding then. And then next turn, we will burn Castle Baston to the ground. Certainly, it's not doing much for them anymore. And we have Montfort that needs to be destroyed, although taking that source of iron does sound like it'd be nice. We're still just gonna break everything here.
All bones on deck.
Oh, with Louen over there, we can't exactly move you off.
Captain on deck.
And you just arrived here.
All set.
They'll be likely to spot your ambush, but just on the in case, we can entice him in and they completely miss it. Okay. So that's that there. Great start, great opening. Has everybody else moved? It looks like it. We have things building everywhere. Well, new ports. New sources of income. To magnify everything we've got. My goodness, look at all of these ports. Bringing in all this delicious illegal coin. Okay. Then what else? Another enemy, be it Worth von Karstein's. Karstein. We can do that next turn. Bide our time with that. Give us just a little bit more time to close the distance with that exotic goods hauler. 7,500 and 300 infamy sounds like a wonderful deal. Oh, you know what is... Has my little buddy down here moved? Yes, he has. Okay. Back to Noctilus. We end turn, and I will see you on the other side. Alright, salvaged arsenal. And we've completed the Picaroon's hideout. That's a significant amount of weapon strength for a lot of units that I have in all of my armies. And also, this place is about to rebel again. That's actually ideal for me. I like that. I was going to try to do ambushy things, but their paladins are doing a lot to ambush my garrisons and deal damage to them. And to top it off, Alberic's showing up with 20 units, you know. Grail Reliquaries, Knights of the Realm, and then Louen's up here with all of his nonsense. Grail Guardians, Questing Knights, Royal Pegasus Knights, god damn, and all these Grail Knights. Oh, wow. I think I'm making them mad. Let's see here. Assaulting their units is going to be the most valuable thing you can do right now. Ooh,
Plenty of blood.
Another lord is bearing down on us. That's not ideal. I might try to embed you in the army, honestly. Let's see here. Doom and Darkness would be helpful, but those Grail Reliquaries are going to do a lot to keep things in the fight against us. Got a significant bonus versus infantry. And a good boost to your melee attack, which we've added up further. So let's go with Soul Blight, reduce armor, armor piercing, and base damage all the way around. Now, you've done some significant damage to that army, and they can't regenerate.
What is your demand?
Alright, Mr. Holloway.
My compass agrees.
Oh no. That's what I get for my poor planning. Alright, we're just gonna eat that. Raise it. Why did we... Oh, that's right, because I wandered back in to try to destroy it. That's why. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Okay, let's see. Let's boost Invocation and Nehek so we can overcast it. There we go.
Let us evade.
Now because we raised that, we can't actually close in to help up here.
They'll feel my love.
Oof, okay. Let's see here. There'll be good protection for our guns. What else do we want? Got some anti-infantry there. Can I recruit anything directly from... No, I cannot. Ooh. That would be good. The black spot. That's not right now. Some more anti-infantry. You know what? Let's cancel you. Let's do 2 of you. And then, scroll over 1 of you. That's a shame. I just boosted our income, and now we're doing this all over again, just tanking it right back down, but we need to.
Orders.
You know, running in and taking out Alberic might not be a bad plan. He's definitely got the weaker of the 2 armies. Well, second weakest if we throw in Yasmina Dubois in here, but it's relatively unsupported, and these battle pilgrims won't hold up for Jack. The Grail Reliquary, their magical aura, it's not great, but definitely don't want that. It's those Knights of the Realm that are the big problem.
Corsair of the night.
Okay. I don't see that we have much choice. I don't want to be defending against 3 armies. That's 40 units right there. And then another 9, so 49. Even though I would have, let's see, the benefit of walls, my towers, and another, let's see, 6, 10, 16 units there. That's still not ideal for me, and they're bringing in better flying units. Got plenty of archers there, hero units, and then Louen himself is terrifying. He'll eat my lord alive, even though she's level 19. She's not a legendary lord, and she's not built for being up in close like that. She'd have support to help, but
Yes, master.
yeah, going out and taking out the army that I've weakened seems like the best call. Then retreating back into the fort.
Have up them.
Pyrrhic victory, what all do we lose? Nope, that's all stuff I can pretty reliably replace. And she'll get a unique trade off of him. What's the fight? Light Forest and Gisero. Whew. Now, why couldn't I have this spot? This would be beautiful. Forcing them to charge into my halberds underneath this withering fire of artillery. I mean, granted, they'll be charging into that, but that's like at the extended max range, and then they'll spread out and become a nightmare. We'll eat the auto-resolve on this one.
The lust is upon me. Let's fight.
The extra loot would be nice, but we'll take the unit replenishment. Melee attack when fighting at sea, definitely appropriate for a pirate. Okay. So let's run you back to the fort so you can start regenerating.
What is your name?
And we'll definitely want more quick, cheap halberds.
They'll feel my lash.
That should actually be good for now. That'll keep them off my backs. Especially if I start using her to harass their armies. Yeah. Okay, that shook out alright.
Another victory. Ready the river.
Ooh. Who are you? Ooh, Tyrion.
Absolutely.
We haven't fought in a while. Oh, and there's a port here. And it's the war herd of the One Eye. I don't mind fighting them. I mean, beastmen are terrifying now after their last update. And the beastmen themselves, I mean, lots of great lore and stories surrounding them.
Navigate.
You know what? I probably should have not moved quite so hard, so fast, and so far. Not because of any worries about exhaustion, that is a concern, but because I've got 25 population surplus, and I can do a lot to boost more of my crew effectiveness overall. And this plus 10 for all units in the Lord's army, plus 6 melee defense, that's all nice, but we can keep stacking more stuff on. And an even bigger replenishment rate. Experience gain and pirate, I'm not worried about growth. Campaign movement range and starting that winds of magic amounts. What other things do we have? We've got this nasty thing. Increasing missile strength and melee defense and infamy. And hero recruit rank. And so many abilities to unlock. That would be cool. Never did get the harpoon line. I never made it all that far before with this. Like, I made it like a couple of turns in. Oh, and then so many recruitment options. Wonderful, wonderful recruitment options. Yeah. Where is that exotic goods hauler? Still over here somewhere, huh? Somehow I feel skeptical of that, but... Ooh. We need more eyes over here. I'm surprised you're still around right now. Okay. Let's see if there's anybody wanting to be a trade partner. Naggarond?
Speak. You stand before the supreme ruler of Naggaroth. Speak. I approve.
Okay. Normally I'd try to grill you for money, but that's actually what I'm trying to get to.
No.
Offer a payment.
I refuse.
See here, trade agreement, payments, offer. I will go up to 800. I mean, you stand to make money with this. Okay. Shame. Malekith, whiny, spoiled crybaby spawn of Anarian and Marathi. Oh, that's right. I need to declare war on the von Karsteins. Come here, little vampire friends.
Unstoppable. A true diplomat can hide much behind a silvered word.
I'm not coming at you with silvered words. There we go. More campaign movement range and upped
Crew, salute your
replenishment.
Admiral.
All things you want. Tim! Tim the Slimy, my preeminent raider. For some reason, you guys have not declared war on me, and I find that especially strange. I mean, my god, I have been raiding and trespassing here for so long. Look at how bad this is deteriorating. Minus 285, like the... that's insane to me. Aid McMaggot. You can't actually affect that there. But let's steal some technology. Oh, you failed. That was a 35% failure chance. I don't know why I didn't pay attention. But here we are. Reinforced carcasses would be good. Let's increase our munitions.
Easy target.
More heroes haven't moved. Cat. Although you have 14 turns before you can do anything again. Let's go mess with Gorok. Actually, yeah. Go mess with Gorok. Good. Imminent rebellion? Alright. I'm not worried about that.
Ours is the sea.
I find it funny that I have two Elnots characters. Len the Brine. March, my friend, march. We have treasure to dig up. Don't know what that accent was. We've finally encountered Clan Moors. Hopefully, I can add them to my tally of defeated legendary lords and get quick head takers defeat trait for Count Noctilus, who is accruing a pretty nice spread of added abilities. Oh, another channeling staff. Okay. It's better than the Wand of Jet, that's for sure. Ah, yes. Ulthuan Undefended, Hag Butcher, Hammer and Anvil, Man's Ruin, Witchfinder General, A Fitting End, Lich Killer, Blood Feuder, Kingslayer, and Viper Killer against rogue armies. Nice. Okay. Well, that seems to be everything I can do at this time. I have a province about to go up in rebellion.
This isn't the
Richter van von Volkvan.
mine.
I've never seen Van von Volkvan before, but I've always heard, actually not always heard, I've first heard that from the Spiffing Brit. The most British man you can ever watch in gaming on YouTube. No, I don't need that. I want rituals. What rites can I do? 11 turns. Need more plunder piles. Curse of Eternal Servitude. Queen Bess. A Queen Bess I should recruit at some point. That's amazing. Only got 16 shots, but my god, what shots it pours into people.
Our infamy grows.
Alright then, Mr. Holloway. Defend your post. Here they come. Chillfroy, Louen Leoncour. Ooh, the Silver Lance of the Blessed. Forged by Giles the Uniter himself. Giles. Giles was his name, the one who rallied all the different dukes of Bretonnia. This lance instantly turns all but the purest, bravest souls to fire. Charge bonus plus 20, melee attack plus 12. Damned impressive. Unfortunately, this is where we are going to leave off for now, largely because it is late and I have many things that I need to get done. But I hope you have enjoyed today's episode, short as it was. Please remember, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. Also, drop a comment and let me know if there are any units that you would like me to rename to any other fabulous names you might want to suggest. And as always, hit those like or dislike buttons, leave your thoughts and comments down below so we can engage in discussion. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.